And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from, where are you on this list? Tokyun84, or Toneki. I'm probably butchering that name, I apologize. 84. You asked the question, who would win the fight? All Might, the symbol of peace, versus Sage Mode, Naruto, Six Sage Mode to be precise, Naruto. So, and you're not only did you say All Might, you should specify this. You were talking about All Might in his prime, which is about 60 times stronger, roughly, than his former current, if you will. Just because I say former current because he's no longer as capable of fighting. At least not now. Maybe we might get something with like Eri or something later down the road, but for now, no. All Might is not capable of, fighting anymore. So, who would have fight? Well, it's one of those things where if you look at each fighter and what they bring to the table, it kind of becomes obvious, especially when you watch Death Battle's All Might versus Might Guy. All Might is extremely powerful. Like, physically speaking, he does surpass someone like Naruto in terms of pure physical strength. At his prime, he could, I can't remember exactly how Death Battle calculated it, and I don't always go to Death Battle stats. In fact, I actually normally don't. I normally try to avoid them because they're, as much as I love Death Battle, as much as I think they do generally get it right, even when I don't agree with the outcome for my own prediction, their math does seem to be generally on. It's just, they're just another source. Theirs is not the word of God. But that being said, when you do have a character they've used that they factor the actual numbers for, it does help. So All Might doesn't really have much in the way of tactics beyond his smashes. Fortunately, he does have many different smashes. Texas Smash, Detroit Smash, both are capable of creating large gusts, even tornadoes capable of changing the weather. The United States of Smash is his finisher. I believe the New Hampshire Smash is like basically a smash that can actually change his trajectory in midair. He's capable of just creating giant gusts of wind with just his sheer power, something Deku figured out later on in the series. He's capable of moving at high speeds, very durable. He is an expert in hand-to-hand fighting, so it's not like he's a slouch, because this is his bread and butter. And he's very durable, too, capable of taking massive amounts of hits and damage, but he's not invulnerable, as we saw, but got the very vivid implication from his fight with All For One, where All For One literally eviscerated him to the point where his stomach and entrails were hanging out as he continued to beat on All For One. So, yeah, kind of insane. Now, that's maybe both a testament to his durability and his endurance and pain tolerance levels, as well as, just being the symbol of peace and the will he carries from that. But it's still a testament to him as a character, no doubt whatsoever. All Might is someone who hits with the power of several nuclear blasts into the face without difficulty. So All Might has always been a great character. He's one of my favorite My Hero characters. Naruto Uzumaki is obviously he was the chosen one. Technically, he's not the chosen one. I always hate the fact that he's Ninja Jesus. Okay, look. Was he the reincarnation of one of the sage's sons? Yes, he was. Does that kind of negate a little bit of the whole I will change destiny's not set, I'll change fate, I make my own fate thing? To a degree, yes. But that's not to say, but let's be honest here. If him being the reincarnation of, I believe it's Ashura, is his reincarnation. If him being the reincarnation of Ashura really was something that negated everything Naruto said, then he would never have been the dead last. He never would have been a loser. He never would have been as weak as he was in the series. Because let's be honest, as strong as Naruto became, he did not start out strong in a lot of the early series. He grew stronger over time, but didn't start out strong. And he still would get his ass regularly handed to him. So, I don't quite agree. In fact, I'm not even quite. I don't agree with the whole idea. Oh, Ninja Jesus, it's all the gates. Everything. It doesn't negate anything. He still had to work for it. Like, even when you get into Shippuden, no, he still had to work for what he got. and he still took a while for him to really get to those higher echelons of power. He didn't really get into serious levels of power up until the Pain Invasion arc, where he gained Sage mode, then he gained Kurama Chakra mode, then he gained Six Paths mode. So yeah, I don't agree with that. I really don't. Don't get me wrong. Is it kind of like, is there some hypocrisy? Sure. Is it something that ruins Naruto's character? I don't think so. Not to me personally. If you disagree, that's fine. But I haven't even talked about his abilities yet. Naruto has, and that's probably because Naruto has a lot of abilities. He has, obviously, not just his own chakra, which, as Death Battle calculated, could hollow out the moon, which is in pentatons. And that's just his own chakra. And then you have Kurama's chakra, who, let's be honest, Kurama's chakra dwarfs any normal person, like any major shinobi's chakra, like, except for maybe Madara, and I think I'm pronouncing it Madara, except for maybe Madara, who was able to take on all the tail beasts without his eyes. Yes, he had Hashirama's cells in him, so he could activate his Sage mode, to be fair, but without his eyes. Except for maybe Madara, and obviously the sages, and like the Kaguya's race of individuals. Otsutskis? I don't remember the actual pronunciation. Except for them, like mostly, yeah, Kurama's chakra, it can't, and obviously the Ten Tails. But Kurama's chakra dwarfs pretty much, well and truly dwarfs Naruto's chakra. Which is why Naruto goes in those chakra modes, because clearly it's stronger than his base, which means Kurama's chakra probably gets measured beyond pentatons. Whatever the next measurement beyond that is. In fact, you know what? For this, as I continue to talk, I'm going to look up what goes beyond what's higher than the pentatons. Naruto is also faster than light. He moves fast enough to dodge light speed attacks. Light speed attacks. Reflex wise and traveling speed, we know he can move, roughly speaking, in the same ballpark. He is an expert fighter, capable of going toe to toe with individuals like Madara. Was bigger than a Pleoton? That's not. I know. I said petaton. Petaton metric. Gigatons to petatons. What is bigger than a gigaton? In units of measurement. Here we go. Gigaton. Then it's teraton. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, perfect. I think. Yep. Here we go. So it goes ton, just a ton, kiloton, megaton, gigaton, teraton, petaton, and then exaton. So I would be willing to bet that Kurama's powers level of chakra might go into the exaton range. And it actually is measured in millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, quintillions, sextillions, and septillions. So there you go. And I'm sure there's tonnage beyond that as well that goes into the, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete. Actually, no, it wouldn't be that because it's not cinco tons, it's sextons. I don't know what 7 is. Octatons is probably 8. The octatons probably is like the 800-ton range or whatever. You know what I mean. And then decaton is obviously, then you're going into just anyway. So that's just, or quadrillion. That's what I meant. Octillion. That's what I meant to say. Anywho, so that's generally Kurama's probable power level. It is. While I've disagreed with it in the past, I have come around with it thanks to a lot of people just kind of illustrating and agreeing with each other and telling me I'm wrong, and that's fine, no problem, and I can correct myself long term. That Kurama is planetary in terms of his power, and once seeing the fact that Naruto can hollow out a moon, or the moon, I would agree with that. Kurama's definitely a planetary level. Whether or not Kurama could blow up the actual planet with his own power in terms of an attack, that's the only thing I've ever questioned. But yeah, in terms of the amount of chakra Kurama has, Kurama is, if you were to do what they did in Naruto the last movie, pull all of Kurama's chakra out and basically siphon it and throw it into the planet, you would probably blow the planet up. And that's just Karam's chakra. Now you actually add 6 Sage chakra on there, which goes even higher, basically. Although I think it's just like merging Karam's chakra with that. It's Sage mode combined with that. Naruto has access to every one of the Tail Beast chakra natures. So you have Kurama's Tail Beast Bomb. You have the acid of the 6 tails. You have the lava of the 4 tails. You have the ink of the 8 tails. The steam of the 3 tails. The magnet release of the 1 tails. The fire of the 2 tails. Whatever the hell it is that the 7 tails really offered, which I don't think to this day we really know. It was like glittering. That's all we know. I'm sure the 7 tails has its own legitimate ability. We just never saw it. So yeah, he's able to combine that and combine, his chakra nature into, the condensed spheres, which can literally tear individuals apart, morph them into rods, can actually fly on them. I believe he doesn't even need them to fly. He can fly with them because he has them floating on his back. He's able to perceive Madara's limbo clothes, something that existed in a different plane of existence, but could still interact with the real world. He was able to merge 2 Kurama Tail Beast mode clones into like a dual-headed, quadruple-armed, probably 18. I don't remember if it was like actually more than 9 tails, but 18-tailed monstrosity wielding F-off Rasen shurikens. We haven't even gotten into his basic skills yet with his shadow clones, the Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken, Planetary Rasengan, Mini Rasen Shuriken, Mega Rasen Shuriken, F-off thing, it's Scorched style release or whatever, Black Arrows or whatever he called it, with Sasuke. He's just, look, I know why someone would ask this question, sure, but really? Now if you had me going with like Sage Mode Naruto when he fought Pain, this would probably be a very different battle. This would probably be a very different battle. But as is, this would go even much quicker than the All Might versus Might Guy fight did and Death Battle did, because Naruto moves much faster than Guy does in the Sage mode. In fact, if anything, Naruto could actually heal All Might's wound if this was not All Might Prime, like he did with Kakashi and Guy. Saved Guy's life, restored Kakashi's eye. He could probably restore All Might to his prime. But these two met in combat. Yeah, I will argue that All Might does have just pure muscle power over Naruto, sure, but Naruto's chakra, his overwhelming range of abilities, it just would overwhelm him. Like, All Might would fight the good fight, sure, but it wouldn't matter. It really would. Naruto would blitz him. There's not even really a scenario here I can figure out, except Naruto, because of, dimensional shenanigans, which do exist in Naruto, thanks to the Kaguya and the Rinnegan and all that stuff, or Rin Sharingan as Sasuke has. Naruto maybe ends up in the My Hero universe during a different time period where All Might's in his prime. All Might sees him, wonders who he is. Like, look, I'm Naruto. I need to get back to where I'm going. And maybe All Might's just a bit more young and impetuous, so he doesn't believe Naruto, and they go toe-to-toe. Naruto is just able to easily avoid him, and the few hits he takes, he's able to just block that with his chakra cloak. Just throw it All Might back. All Might tries to go all out again, just throws like smashes, wind gusts. Naruto's able to just kind of blow them back with his chakra, goes into like full Kurama mode, and just kind of wails on All Might until All Might stops. Not till he's dead, till he stops and listens to him. Ultimately, it's just, there's not much, I hate to say it, it's not as much of a analysis in terms of how the fight would break down, because the disparity between power is so great that it makes it a little more difficult to create an interesting scenario. My money 100% of the time is going to be on Naruto. In 6 paths Naruto, Naruto's going to win. If this were a different version of Naruto who was weaker than that, like again, say Sage Mode or just like early starting of Shippuden or something like that, we'd be talking about a very different scenario here. Even like when he just activated or had the Rasen Shuriken, we'd have a very different scenario here. But ultimately, what are your thoughts? Does All Might actually stand a legitimate shot here, or do you think I'm in the right, or do you think I'm completely wrong? By all means, let me know. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to a review of it at some point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Later, folks.